how do you help them break this cycle and stop this self-sabotaging? Most of the time we are self-sabotaging because we are making this big thing in our head that is going to be complicated, it's going to be hard, it's going to be painful, I don't know how to do it.
She is the guide women need to transition from chaos to clarity, turning part-time ambitions into thriving six-figure businesses.
Avec sa touche française unique et ses stratégies dorées, elle inspire les entrepreneurs à prendre les rênes et à bâtir le succès à leur passion.
So let's warmly welcome the brilliant Ysaline Rozière.
Two advice you can give for increasing the conversion rate for any business coach. Connect with people. Three main things that are going to tell you is that I don't have the money, it's not the right time, or I need to speak with my spouse. But most of the time it's your time that is controlling you because you are running out of time, you have too many things to do. But the truth is like you can have control over your time if you are really well organized, if you have the really good boundary with yourself.
Hello, everyone.
How are you doing today? Comment ça va?
I'm doing well. Ça va très bien. I'm super happy to be with you today and to get to speak about my expertise, what I do, and how I can help people.
Great. Thank you so much, Ysaline. Merci beaucoup for coming on the podcast. We are very glad to have someone from France.
Nice.
All right. So I've planned a small rapid fire for you. We'll start with the rapid fire, moving on to the main podcast question. Is that okay with you?
100%. Go ahead.
Great. Okay, fine. So what's your go-to fuel for all the busy mornings when you go for your coaching meetings? Is it coffee or is it croissant?
No, it's more like fresh orange juice with a matcha latte. Not really French.
All right. Okay, fine. What's the worst excuse you have heard, the funniest or the most surprising one for not getting out of procrastination?
I will say it's like, like excuses like I have swimming pool or I have something to do or I need to go out to buy something super important. But yeah, like any times that you are procrastinating, everything is an excuse.
Okay. All right, fine. If you could time travel back in time, what would you choose? Would you choose to give yourself some time or your clients that time?
Great question. I will say if I could only do it once, I will do it for myself first, because the fact is like I can only help my clients better if I'm in the right place and I know exactly how to help them. So it's really about like, as a business owner, figuring out how you can help people first before to be able to help them. It's like when you're in an airplane, they ask you like when there is something to put your oxygen mask first in order to help other people. But I would say that's the same principle.
That's a wise answer, of course. Why not? If you had to run your business, would you either choose the busy, bustling streets of Paris or would you choose the quiet countryside?
I will say the second one. And the reason why I think like back then, few years back then, I will say the first one. But now I will say that, like you cannot hustle all the time. Like you cannot be busy all the time. Like that's not sustainable when you are running a business. That's why I will say the second one now.
What's that one quirky personal habit that you have that helps you keeping on, going every day consistently with your business?
Do what I really don't want to do first. In every business, there is always something that feels uncomfortable, even when you are a business coach. And if you are waiting for the end of the day, you will actually find yourself all the worst excuses in the world, not just to do it. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm in the right headspace. So I'm like, okay, let's do it and not speak about it for the rest of the day. That's done. And let's keep going.
All right. Okay. Nowadays, everyone is going super crazy about productivities, right? So what's that one productivity trend that you think everyone needs to stop following?
Two things that you always need to be productive. Like the fact is like no one can be productive like every day, 365 days in a year. Like at some point, you will need to rest. So you need to be okay with the fact that you cannot be productive all the time. You will get sick, your kids will get sick. There will be some day where you will have no motivation, and that's okay, as long as most of the time you have motivation and you are moving forward.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Ysaline. That was a very pretty answer.
Thank
Moving on to the main part of the podcast. Okay. So your framework, it revolves on making more money by focusing on fewer important things, right?
Yeah.
So what are the top three things entrepreneurs should prioritize for consistent business growth?
So first of all, I will say the number one thing is like working consistently on your business. Like when you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a new coach or you are full-time, part-time or whatever, like you need to work consistently on your business. If you don't work consistently on your business, like your business will be like really a roller coaster with highs and lows. So I will say the first one is for you to create like a schedule, like a power hour planning system that is going to help you work consistently on your business while also juggling all the things that you need to deal with in life. Maybe it's family, with maybe it's having a job or something else, without actually burning yourself out. So that will be my number one. The second thing is that I will actually be really specific about what you do. Some things that I'm noticing, especially when people are new to business, is that they have the belief that the broader their services is, the more clients they're going to get. But it's actually quite the opposite that is going to happen. The more specific you are, the more you are able to actually stand out in the online space. What you want to do is not to do the same thing as everyone else, because like there are a lot of people out there, so you need to actually find what is your expertise and to actually use it in a way that is going to make you stand out online. And the only way to do that is by being super specific about what is it that you do. So that's my number two. And the third thing is that to learn how to sell. If you want to make money, you have no choice to learn how to sell. And I know what it feels like. You feel salesy, you feel pushy, you feel that you are bothering people. Like, I get it. Most of my clients are going through the same thing. But the truth is that if you are not speaking about what you do, like you will never actually put the word out of how you can help people, and you will never help people, and you will never make money. So that's my third one.
All right. Okay. That was a very insightful answer, Ysaline. Thank you so much. Moving on to the client part. How do you assist your clients every day to identify their ideal clients? And what does that mean, management technique that plays in attracting the right clients?
So one thing that you need to understand is that, and a lot of people think that finding your ideal client is finding clients that actually have money. Yes and no. You no, but that's true. You need to have, like, of course, your ideal client needs to be able to afford your services. So that's a great thing. If you are targeting broke people, that's not going to work 100%. But in the same time, you need to understand that you get to pick who you want to work with. You are building your business to have fun, and you have the right to enjoy working with some people more than other. So finding your ideal client, it's really finding this balance between finding the people that you love to work with and finding the people that are going to benefit the most from your expertise. Because one thing that you need to remember is that you need to be able to provide like the result to your ideal client. So it's not just about working with the people that you love, but also making sure that you have the expertise to help them. So it's really like the combination of the two. Can I help them? Yes. Do I like to work with them? Boom, you're going to find your ideal client. But again, in finding your ideal client, you need to be specific. And one thing that I always say to my clients is that you need to be able to know your ideal client better than they know themselves. If you don't know them, if you don't know what they think, what they do, where they spend their time, what are their struggle, what do they want to achieve, your messaging will always be bad.
All right. That was a very uplifting answer for all the people who want to know how to find your ideal clients. This is the moment you got to go to, okay? So, coming on to the comfort zone part, according to your own words, our brains prefer safe and easy tasks, and they keep us in the comfort zone. How do you train entrepreneurs to push past this instinct and take more risks that lead to success?
The fact is, like, when something is uncomfortable, it's really likely that you need to be doing it. And the reason why you need to be doing it is because, like, most of the time what feels uncomfortable is what is going to generate money. And the fact is, like, we're not born to know how to sell, how to market, like, no one is. But this is something that we get to learn. And you need to, every time that you need to assess why do you feel uncomfortable with this task, you need to ask yourself why. Is that the first time? Is that because you have done it, but it took you a lot of time? Like, one of the things, like, most of the time we're scared of doing something because we've never done it before, or we're not mastering that thing. But the reality is, like, if you are not doing it over and over again, you will never master it and you will never become good at it. And most of the time when it comes to actually building your business, what most of people are actually afraid of doing is that posting on social media, showing up your face, speaking about your services, actually pitching people, like selling people, all that thing feel really uncomfortable because they don't know how to do it. And that's why you need to learn how to actually do it in order to be able to make money.
Okay, that's quite a quirky answer, I would say. Okay. Now, this is one of my favorite questions. In your funnel of your 3-day challenge, in the end, when you have to close your clients, I want to know what are the top 3 sales strategies you use to close female entrepreneurs in Paris? Because definitely females in Paris or entrepreneurs in Paris have different pain points than in India or in California, right? And you of all the people have seen that more closely.
Yes and no. So, which means that, I'm working all over the world. Like, I have clients in the US, into Canada, I have clients in Europe. I used to have clients also in Asia, Dubai. So, I have worked with, like, even in Africa, with a lot of people. And the fact is, like, it's not the people that I'm working with are all people who wants to build an online business. So no matter where they are, like, the location is not really one of their pain point. What I would say would be different is that the mindset. Someone like who has been born and raised in the US or Canada is not going to have the same mindset that someone that is born in France or even in India, because, like, the truth is, like, we have cultural differences that society teach us, that our parents teach us. So it's more about, like, the mindset block that you are going to face, that are going to be different when it comes to build an online business, more than actually, like, something related to the location. But at the end, all of these women, they want the same thing. They want to learn how to build an online coaching business. So what is really in their way is going to be all the pain points that I just told you about. But that's true that their mindset block are going to be different depending on their history, depending on where they live, depending on how they grew up, like, all the things.
Right. And what are your 3 favorite objections when they try to say, no, Ysaline, now is not a good time. I'll call you back.
So basically, like, the 3 main things that they're going to tell you is that I don't have the money, it's not the right time, or I need to speak with my spouse. Here's the truth. Like, all of these are just excuses. Because if people really see the value of what you do, if you are actually convey the value of your offer, if you are actually being able to communicate really, like, what is it that you do, how you can help the people, what are the results that you can get them, what are the guarantee of working with you, why working with you is actually the right things that they need, like, they will say yes. They will actually find a way to find the money, to convince actually their spouse, or to make the time. It's just an excuse for them because there is something that is not actually quite landing for them. Usually with theirs, they don't believe in themselves. With theirs, they don't believe, like, in their offer, which is happening a lot of time. With theirs, they don't believe in you. So most of the time, that's the 3 things that is happening when you have this kind of objection.
All right, great. Okay. 2 advice you can give for increasing the conversion rate for any business coach.
Connect with people. I would say connect with people. Most of the time, the reason why people are not landing client is because they're just selling. They're not selling. But the fact that in order to sell, you need to build a community. You need to build a community of your ideal client. You need to connect with them. You need to be genuinely interested in them. So if you don't connect with them on a personal level, there is no way they're going to buy from you. And you can even ask yourself, have you ever buy something over the internet of someone that you didn't know, someone you didn't you didn't check the review? No.
No.
That's exactly the same principle here. You need really to connect with the people. That's the main key. If you do that, first of all, you will understand them. You will know the people inside of your community. You will improve your messaging. You will improve your connection call, and you will improve your conversion rate. That's the mechanism.
All right. Okay. That's something I think so. It's common in every part of the world, I would say. Because everyone just wants to keep on selling. They don't want to actually connect and try to understand how you can solve and address their concerns, how your product can help them out. They just want to sell their own high ticket, and that's a whole different version.
Yeah, but being in business means actually helping people, knowing the people. I never see a brand not having a community and succeeding to sell. People need to understand your value. People need to understand who you are, what is it that you do, and why you do it. Once they understand that, they can actually assess whether or not you are an expert in your field. And if they see that they're an expert in your field and you can solve the issue, then there is no problem for them to say, hey, can you talk to me a bit more about your services? But you have to do that. You cannot actually sell people without showing proof that you are good at what you do. Not working.
Absolutely. I would say that's a well said answer on your part. Moving on to the next question. As you said that you're a time management and a business coach, and you emphasize on using time as a tool for accelerating your growth. So, can you explain how mastering time management helps entrepreneurs achieve their desired success?
So one of the common thought that you have as an entrepreneur is that you don't have control over your time. Is that it's most of the time it's your time that is controlling you because you are running out of time. You have too many things to do. But the truth is you can have control over your time if you are really well organized, if you have the really good boundary with yourself. And also if you are working on your productivity daily. Because when you are creating your own per hour planning system where you are actually saying, okay, so today I'm going to work on content creation, tomorrow I'm going to work on outreach, the next day I'm going to actually do my coaching. When you are blocking time to do the activities that needs to be done in your business, and you are sticking to it, and you are teaching yourself how to stick to it, that's when you actually are taking your time back. Most of the time is that the people are not having boundaries with their time. So they say, okay, I'm gonna do this for, let's say, 1 hour, and then they end up doing it for 2 hours, and then they're actually late because they were supposed to do something else afterward, but they don't have the time to do afterward. So then they're going to work overnight on the evening, and then they're going to be tired, and the next day they're going to wake up and feel even more tired and be even less productive. It's not about working a lot, it's about working smart, in a smart way, which means that it's about really processing. It's really about
Okay, yeah, now I heard you. I thought the voice was gone.
it's good.
Yeah, now it's good. Yeah.
I think it's really about assessing, how long you need to spend on each task that are really going to create money for your business, and learning how to stick to it. This way you are really controlling your time instead of letting your time controlling you.
Wow, that's one fine sentence. You controlling your time, not your time controlling you.
And that's very true too.
Yes, that is so true. So true. Now, you have also mentioned in your previous videos, and also your challenges in your funnels, that people self-sabotage a lot, right?
100%.
Yeah, see, you're agreeing with me. So, what are the most common self-sabotaging behaviors you have encountered in entrepreneurs? up till now?
I think it's going with that feeling because I'm mostly working with women. And this feeling of like not being enough, not knowing enough, not being an expert enough, not actually doing enough tasks in their business, not speaking to enough people. This feeling of really like what I'm doing is not enough. And because they have this belief that they always need to do more, they always need to learn more in order to be more like an expert, like it's leading them right to like a selling mode. And that's why I see a lot of new coaches getting burned out because they are hustling their way to actually get client instead of actually like really taking a step back and say, okay, I've been working in this field for 10-15 years, I know what I'm talking about, so what I know is enough for my client to teach them actually to get those results. But really, like this belief of like it's not enough can mean the way to a lot of women.
I think being born as a woman in itself is like, you're not good enough no matter what you do.
And that's funny that you are speaking about that because like I had a call just before you and we were speaking about like the difference of mindset between men and women, and the men tend to actually think that they are going to succeed anyway, and women are been raised in a way that maybe you are going to succeed. It's not like there is no certainty behind it. Like there is no reason that women cannot succeed, especially when you are around the right people, when you have the right process. Like we can do it as well as men are doing it, and even better sometimes.
Yeah, feminism rocks.
I'm not always about feminism, but sometimes let's call the truth.
That's actually true. Actually, I believe in equality because sometimes the women they kind of take disadvantage. That I'm a woman, I want these rights, these are my perks, and this is what I'm gonna do. I'm sensitive, I'm this and that, and it's pretty injustice towards the men.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe in equality. But moving on to the next question, procrastination is something, I had also asked you a question before. So it often leads to guilt, right? That
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing it. Shit, I'm going to do it, but I can't do it. Sometimes it can also go towards a more depressive state. So for entrepreneurs who are constantly procrastinating, on constantly having that guilt, and they're not advancing at all, they're not growing in their business, how do you help them break this cycle and stop this self-sabotaging?
It's just like a matter of like doing it one step at a time. Most of the time we're self-sabotaging because we're making this big thing in our head that is going to be complicated, it's going to be hard, it's going to be painful, I don't know how to do it. But if you broke it like into small steps and you just start with one step at a time, you will see that by starting actually doing the thing, you will do a bit more than what you were supposed to do. And if you are actually training yourself to do one step at a time every time, like will keep breaking through procrastination. It's really about like most of the people are procrastinating because in their head it seems hard, but in reality, it's not always hard.
It's what you think, your mind thinks that it's hard enough, but it's not. All right.
Mhm.
Now, this is again one of my favorite questions. In Paris, there is a style and flair that is very central to life. Your
Yeah,
view?
the Parisian style, let's call it that way.
Yes, it's Paris Fashion Week. End of statement. Okay. So, how do you incorporate your French background and creativity into your coaching approach that makes you stand out from your other competitive market?
I do think it's not about like style as itself. It's more about like the personality that I have. French people are really known to be like really straightforward, like when they say things, and that's kind of the person that I am. So I love my client, I coach them with a lot of love because I'm really against like shaming people, this kind of thing, because I don't think it's going to help them actually take action and move forward. But I know how to call them out, and I know how to give them tough love. And I do think that I'm this way because French people are pretty straightforward about everything that they think. And I will say that sometimes US people will actually sugarcoat it like a bit more, because they tend to sugarcoat things. So I would say that's what is making me different, is really caring for my people, but also knowing how to say what is going on and what is happening to them and what they need to do in a way that is going to actually land for them and actually empower them to take action.
Okay, that's a doable thing, people. I think that's pretty easy for anyone to do, right?
I think, like, if you want to stand, like, people are going to work with you because of you. So because of who you are, of what what you are showing on social media, what you are showing like in interviews such as this one. So the goal is really to empower who you are and make it like one of your strengths. Like, don't be scared of being who you are, because that's actually what is going to help you get client. And you are not going to attract everyone, because you are not made anyway to work with everyone. But you are going to attract people who are resonating to who you are and what you stand for. So I will say that, like, showing your unique character and your unique differences is something that is always going to work out in your business.
All right. Okay. That was a very lovely answer, I would say, and true to the core of all the things that you've set up till now. All the points and all the dots are connecting accordingly.
Perfect.
All right. Okay. So now, in today's world, let it be in any part of the world, people are constantly losing control of their emotions, right?
Mhm.
They are lacking emotional intelligence in somehow, communication, or in trying to sell, not having enough confidence, not having enough grit or determination inside them. So, in your point of view, how do you think people should handle it? Let it be entrepreneurs or a beginner.
The fact is, like, if you don't control your mindset, you don't control your business. Most of your business success is going to be related to your mindset. It's going to be related to the fact that you know you can succeed, you know how to succeed, that you are committed to your success, and that, okay, something is like you're afraid to do something, but you know you have to do it because this is the only way for you to actually land client. So it's really about, like, this mindset of, like, using your mind in order to empower you to take action and to get the results that you want, versus, like, being somehow the victim of your own mindset, which is going to actually, your brain is trying to keep you safe. So every time that you are going to do something new, your brain is going to freak out. Your brain is going to try to convince you to procrastinate, to do something else, to push it to later. It's going to try to convince you that you don't have the time, that you don't have the money. But no, like, it's not the point. Right now, you need to actually ask yourself, is it something that you really want? And are you ready to go all in? And once you have this question, and if the answer is yes, then you need to build the right mindset for you to be able to actually take action on a daily basis. And that's something that a lot of people overlook. Like, inside of my group coaching program, we spoke a lot about mindset, because mindset is going to be the number one thing that's going to be in your way of doing something, and doing something that is going to generate money. So I'm always trying to understand, okay, where is that mindset coming from? What is triggering it? Why are you doing it? Okay, how can we rewrite this in order for you to be able to take action? So it's really about, like, having this self-awareness of what you are thinking, what is driving your behavior, and this consciousness and this willing to change your belief system.
Right, right. Self awareness is pretty important, I would say. That is something that everyone should do, whether you're working, you're employed, or you're just procrastinating.
It's very
Anyway,
important.
moving on to the last question, Ysaline. When I was filling your form for your
Mhm.
challenge, I had to answer three questions. And that's how I figured out that that's how you qualify your leads, right? And
Okay.
these were brilliantly designed questions. I really like Okay, so guys, I'll be just putting a screenshot below so that you can also see the questions because they were very nicely designed. So, is that the only number of questions that help you qualify your leads for your own coaching, or would you recommend other questions as well for our viewers for qualifying their leads more nicely?
So it's helping me having an idea of who is it that I'm going to speak to. So for me, it's like, and that's really important to know exactly what do these people wants to achieve, where do they want to go, what is really in their way, because by answering this question I can pretty much screen what stage they are in their business and if I'm a right fit to actually help them. If I see that some of them like are way ahead, like they tell me I'm already in business for 5 years, I will tell them, you know what, my group coaching program is not made for you, but we can work one to one. So let's explore this way. So that's also giving me where in which of my program I can put them depending on the stage where they are. Now, what questions that I would add, I'm not always doing it. I'm doing different trial, is to ask a question about the revenue, because also having a question about like what are the people revenue is going to help them understand whether or not they can actually pay for your services. Because especially when you are starting your coaching business, a lot of people are going to book calls with you, but they are not going to have the money. So at some point, when you don't have the time, a lot of time available, you would love to have this information before to spend, let's say, 30 minutes or 1 hour with someone who actually cannot afford your services.
Absolutely. That's the first thing, whether you have my money or not.
I would not say it's the first thing, but that's something that if you are not new to business and you are already know with your ideal client, that's a great way to qualify. Now, if I would be starting, I will actually not put it, because I would love to have the experience of doing a lot of sales calls with people, even if they are not having the money to pay, because it's a good way for you to practice objection, to practice understanding your ideal client, and all those good things that are going to help you with your messaging.
All right. See, that now you're actually helping people. You're not like, if you don't have money, don't come to me.
No, and that's the goal. And like, even if I see people don't have money, and I'm going to send them a message to tell them exactly why they are not qualifying. Or sometimes I'm just going to ask them a question. I have seen that you put that you don't have revenue on your questionnaire. Does that mean that you don't have revenue for your business, or you are not currently having income? Because working with me is starting at that price. So if you cannot afford that amount of money, unfortunately, we are not going to be like a match to get them.
Wow, that was very nice.
No, it's always like, you don't have to be mean to people.
Exactly. But it's something that's not in your control, I would say, right? Because sometimes some people have anger issues, and if that if that customer is being skeptical, and he's like, that client is like, I'm not listening. No, no. I think I need more testimonials. I need more this. I need more that. And no matter what you do, that person is just not getting satisfied. That person wants to buy, but is looking for more efforts from you. At
Yeah,
that time, what do you do?
yeah, but the fact is, like, those people are not your ideal client.
Mm.
Because think about it. If someone wants to rework with you, but in the same time they're always finding excuses for not working with you, what do you think is going to happen when you are going to work with them? You are going to have to actually trying to convince them all the way, all the time. Do you want to be that kind of coach? No, you don't. So for me, this kind of behavior is really like a red flag. Like, if you are always finding like, if what I'm showing you isn't enough, if you are not believing in my expertise, and then you are not the right fit, and that's fine. I will find another client which is my ideal client, but you're definitely not my ideal.
Oh, okay. So that was actually the last question of the podcast. Ysaline, thank you so much. Guys, you can find Ysaline on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and
Yes.
please join her 3-day challenge because it is amazing. Her time to money program is on the seventh cloud. Trust me, I've been there, I've tried it, and it's absolutely lovely. Any last words you would like to say for the audience, Ysaline?
No, I'm good. Thanks for listening. And if you have any question, do not hesitate to DM me, like whether on LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook. I would be more than happy to actually answer your question.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
Guys, if you loved the episode, please subscribe. Till then, peace out.
Bye.